Welcome back to ESA Summer 21. I'll be your host for the next 3 hours or so. We are raising money for Save the Children. Links to donate can be found below the stream or !donate in the chat. We'd also like to thank Twitch and ViewSonic for sponsoring this event. And now it's time for some Super Smash Bros. Brawl with Techstrobe. Take it away, buddy.
Alright, hello gamers. This is everyone's favorite Smash game, I assume. And this is going to be a speedrun of the adventure mode, the Subspace Emissary, everyone's favorite Smash mode, hopefully. And with me commentating is Desh, a very old head of the Brawl community.
Hello, glad to be here.
Yep. And let's just get started. It's a very long 2-hour run. Right? And I assume I also have to do a countdown. So we're going to be playing on easy mode because obviously fast. So 3, 2, 1, go. So we're going to start off with skipping a cutscene because fast, even though, you know, Subspace Emissary is, you know, very famous for its cutscenes, but, you know, we're not playing cutscene percent or anything. And for the first thing, we're going to hope Mario is going to not run away like this and have... This is the worst RNG I've had in such a long time. And the strat here is to hopefully, you know, not lose 20 seconds. And we're just going to suck in with Kirby and fall lost. And so... Thank you. And so skip more cutscenes, and we're gonna play as Kirby because Kirby is the best for this horde fight. And while I'm doing this horde fight, I want to mention the version that I'm playing on because we're running at ESA. It's very important to mention that we're running on POW because it is the fastest version of the game. How cool is that? So POW's version differences compared to NTSC is that it has a few minuscule things like characters joining the party, text boxes, some cutscenes are slower, some are like a little faster. But in general, the two biggest time saves you'll see somewhat later in the run will be a complete auto-scroller skip of a level and then a faster version of a skip in another. So now we have Petey, and we're gonna get hit by him by accident. And so I'm saving Zelda here because we're going to be using her best move, which is down B, and that transfers us into Sheik. And Sheik is going to be better throughout some of the levels because depending on who I save there, Peach or Zelda will be able to play them in some levels, and you want to be Sheik. So now we're moving on to Skyworld, and I'm going to be implementing a new little strat that I've recently added, where if I up B in the air, it's faster than Pit's fast fall. So that's a neat little thing. I'll use it one more time. So, alright, so regarding fights are gonna be... Oh my god, this RNG so far is so bad. So regarding fights, I'm gonna be doing fights, obviously, set ways to, you know, get through them the fastest. And here's one of the first instances of Brawl's Broken Glide with Pit and later on Mennonite. You'll be seeing quite a lot of fights skipped with them. I'm going to be doing another up B in the air to fall faster. And here we go, setting up a fight skip to the end of this level by starting a very early glide. And we're just gonna continue on. And this will be the first instance of a fight skip. And so we skipped the fight entirely. That was in that little divot in the level. And that is one of many. So, very quick beginning. So now this is where the first instance of either Zelda or Peach would come into play, and then we obviously just hold down and B because we can buffer moves, because Brawl has a buffer system, and so turn the Sheik, because Sheik is fast. Using Sheik's chain to quickly grab ledges is pretty quick. We'll do that. And then pretty much the rest of this room is going to be running, so we could have probably a donation. Or not. So this might be looking a little bit weird, but this is actually back rolling. Most characters is a little bit faster than just their dash animation. Right, you can go with the donation.
I can talk about the charity that we are raising money towards, which is Save the Children. If you guys want to know a little bit more about Save the Children, they train frontline health workers in communities to diagnose and treat common childhood illnesses like pneumonia, diarrhea, malaria, and newborn sepsis, empowering them to provide services that are proven to reduce child deaths.
Alright. So down airing these portals, and then up smash. This one specifically gets rid of that Glunder there, and doing that was pretty quick. And I didn't get a good hit of the boulder. Then just destroy that creep. Alright, there's a lot of unique enemies to Subspace, so a lot of them have, you know, one way or another best way of killing each one. It's another cool thing of Subspace with how many enemies you fight. So here I'm going to hope I did the move, the nair at the right time, because with that turquoise cube I could have either spawned a poison mushroom or a big mushroom. Sadly I got the poison mushroom. So if I was able to get the big mushroom, which I would have had to hit the turquoise cube on the right frame roll, I would have been able to save 3 seconds, but pretty much lose no time to if I were to not get that and get the poison mushroom and, you know, not pick it up, obviously. So now we're coming up on a very unique strategy that I will be attempting many times throughout this run, called a pause glitch, and I will explain it if I get it. I'll still explain it, but so pause glitch is with locked fights. Obviously they're locked when you see like the purple flash on screen. That's what indicates that you entered a locked fight. But when you pause on the frame entering that fight, it will allow you to be able to freely move throughout the fight. So I won't be in a locked camera state, but the blast zones are kind of closed in whenever you enter a locked fight, and whenever I do a pause glitch, that stays the same and the enemies are still all spawning. But if I'm able to stand a certain amount, for many of these that I'm going for, there's specific strats where I stand a decent amount away from enemies and they actually just instantly perish and keep spawning and perishing. It's a little neat strat. So I'm only going to be going for ones that, for the strats I created, save like 4 seconds. There'll be plenty of them, but pretty much you can technically do that pause glitch in just about every fight, but there's only a handful of instances where it actually saves time. So now we are going to be entering another pretty much just fighting stage after a glide with Pit, because funny glide. Hope everyone enjoyed Monkey. It's not the last time you'll see Monkey, don't worry. Now the plane is just pretty much a glide and a few fights, and hopefully another pause glitch that will be successful. Pause glitch at the end of this level is one of the largest time saves, if done right. Barely made that. So yeah, Brawl gliding, not broken at all. And then I'm just gonna SD because for these fights, Mario will be a little better. Ooh, that little hit there was pretty much perfect. So another mechanic that I want to mention that you'll probably question about is, say, when we get to Captain Falcon, how come he's running the same speed as DDD or whatever? It's another unique mechanic to Brawl, where they made some nerfs and buffs to characters' core mechanics. So you'll see pretty much everyone will pretty much run at the same speed, besides Sonic, but you know, we don't get Sonic in any percent until the end. So right there, that was another attempt at a pause glitch. That was probably a frame too late. Nice RNG, just bomb. Just completely missed that guy. Alright. Now we're coming up on our next boss, which for some reason Sakurai and the team decided they wanted Rayquaza in this game, so they put him in here. Fox is better than Diddy for this fight, just pretty much just spamming forward smash. Alright, not that free RNG, but still good. So Fox has illusion, so pretty much whenever we see Fox we want to use him. It's pretty fast. So now everyone gets to hear one of the best Brawl remixes in the game. Everyone is a fan of Sticker Brush Symphony, or Bramble Blast as it is in this game. There I got a shorten to get in that door quicker. Rarely get that, so that's cool. And then just some jumping, pretty much. A lot of platforming. See, everyone's jamming out. So it is arguably one of, like, or probably not even arguably, just the best remix in this game. But there's definitely a lot of underrated ones that I'd say people usually forget about. So now I'm going to be entering these like dimensional doors to get from one place to another. Right there on that button I did a B reverse, turn around B reverse to hit that button quickly. And then now, okay, that sometimes happens even though I'm spamming right on the C stick, just some random like opposite direction. Alright, and now we have another auto-scroller. Don't fret about the auto-scrollers, most of them are pretty quick, and throughout the run it's only like 12 minutes total. I think I calculated at some point it's like less than 1/8, or like 1/8 of the run is auto-scrollers. I don't know, take that for what you will, but yeah. So we can definitely get in a few donations if we have
Absolutely. Any. We've got a $10 donation from Ara that says, great to see Subspace getting the love it deserves. Good luck with the run, Techstrobe. And that goes towards the Super Mario Kart All Cups Mini Peach incentive. Also coming up after this run as well, we do have the Super Mario Brothers, not Super Mario Brothers, Super Smash Brothers Melee of the blindfold choice. So you guys can bid for the choice of the blindfold. We got Black Penguin, Brown Bear, White Cat, White Seal, with Black Penguin in the lead of $135. You guys have only got about less than 2 hours to change up that blindfold choice. So get your donations in.
And Bubsy has a lot of blindfolds. He's definitely renovating blindfold speedrunning right now. Definitely a really sick runner. So now I died as Fox because for this ending fight, Diddy is better. Because he has a proper spike that we want to be using, and this will be our first instance of coming across a false character. So the bad guys are pretty much turned into like a part of the Subspace Army, and we'll be coming across a couple of them throughout our journey, and we just demolish Bowser like that. And that's pretty much the end of him. He's dead forever.
I'll jump in very quickly with a donation.
Yes.
We just got $200 from Sheezy McDeezy 42 that says, let's make ESA Summer last longer. And that goes towards Dark Souls 3 any% glitchless as the bonus game, the Dark SASI any%. So if you guys want to see some more Dark Souls action, you've got some more time to get your donations in for that incentive. But thank you so much for the $200. That's insane.
Dark Souls, like any Dark Souls run, is a very good watch. So you can you can pretty much continue. I'm in like a minute auto-scroller.
I could talk about also the prizes that you guys can win as well. Did you know that for a minimum of $50, that's right, $50, that is cumulative over the course of the whole marathon, you can donate $5 one day, $10 another day. As long as it stacks up to 50, you can win the infamous, non-existent but semi-relatively existent, the Sony PlayStation 5 plus Ratchet & Clank Rift Apart bundle, which is estimated about $500, and all you have to do is donate $50 to be in with the raffle. And you've also got some ViewSonic monitors that you can win, thanks to our lovely sponsors at ViewSonic. For minimum $35, you can win the ViewSonic Elite Monitor VX 2705 2KP, and for 25 minimum, the ViewSonic Elite XG 270.
Alright, so this auto-scroller's ending very shortly. There's only like a very few handful ones that are long. Don't worry, you'll be able to hear the beautiful Dono reader's voice whenever they come up. But yeah, with Lucas in Brawl has quite a unique set of moves, and we'll be doing some movement strats with him, which makes his sections very enjoyable and unique. So we're coming up on another boss, which is Porky. I accidentally DI'd up when I shouldn't have. And we just demolish Porky with a bunch of down smashes. And so the movement you'll be seeing me do with Lucas is called Magnet Boost. And so if I one direction from my momentum and go the opposite direction with the side B, the PK Fire, I will then do the PSI Magnet, and he'll just be launched that direction. So be doing that whenever it's useful. But also another unique thing outside of, say, Pit and Mennonite being able to do fight skips is Lucas is actually used for 2 fight skips. It's just convenient for this level at the end that we can do a fight skip with Lucas and barely get over. So with the fight skips and the blast zones, obviously in order to be able to do fight skips, the fight triggers have to not be able to reach the top blast zones. And that's a thing throughout the entire game. Majority of them just don't reach, and so we're able... Oh wow, I got that. Alright, cool. Got one pause glitch in the run. So I do this fight a set way, and wait for this guy to move. Okay, that took a little bit longer than normal, so I probably still saved a few seconds. And glunders are hitting me. So there was the first pause glitch, hopefully not the last. So that ended up me saving a few seconds by being able to despawn the the buttons all the way towards the left. I'm just gonna kill these guys because doing this skip with these flows is actually really annoying. Oh, this guy is being annoying. Right. So instead of doing this fight, I'm gonna be skipping over it with Lucas's up B. This one's is like very tight. There you go. Like barely can even like do it. There. Alright, that's Lucas. That's one of his 2 fight skips. So yeah, so that pause glitch was successful. And there'll be plenty more where that came from, hopefully.
Yeah, I guess we can talk some more about exactly how fight skips and pause glitch work. So all of the fights, they have like a trigger. They're like giant rectangles, and if you enter the rectangle at any point, the camera will lock and you will enter a fight where you have to defeat all of the enemies before the camera unlocks and you can continue on. So these rectangles are somewhat arbitrarily drawn, like when they were programmed. So in a lot of cases, if you're able to go above them, you can just skip them altogether, which is what we're gonna do whenever possible. And it's like completely random, almost like how far up they reach. Well, all of the fight skips, or all of the rectangles are of set size, but like one of them extends like 4 times as tall as the blast zones, while a lot of others you can just easily get on top of them. And then we have pause glitch, which was discovered by me actually.
Yeah, Dash ended up discovering quite a lot of things. He's actually the first person to really mention about fight skips in like probably like 2016, sometime around that.
Yeah, I like documented them and tried to tell runners that these fight skips are good, do them. But then no one really did.
Yeah, no one did until I pretty much came around in early 2017. And then I got Ducky, the previous record holder, GOAT of Subspace, I'd say.
Yeah, there's like a world record progression video that for this game that I recommend.
That's so unfair. Yes, there is earlier. I'm really messing up the strat. Okay. Just
oh my god.
Right there, I'm trying the shield breaker. That scope pyramid, because I wanted to actually SD before the scope pyramid would die, so I can spawn as Mennonite in this room and be doing a whole bunch of things that Dash couldn't explain.
Yeah,
this is a pretty crazy room.
These fight skips are insane. Like, they used to be insane, and then Tech just discovered how to completely break this level. So here he skips one fight, and then he goes backwards. He skips the first fight, enter another fight, and then he goes back to the first one, which puts the game in a really weird state. It's like kind of glitchy, and then in this glitchy state he activates an auto-scroller, and then he kills off the enemies from the last, like the previous encounter he got into, and when he kills them off, it unlocks the camera during the auto-scroller. So the auto-scroller is still going on as Tech is doing all of this, and here he's just skipped 2 more fights. And if he gets to that door before the auto-scroller is done, he just skips everything.
Yep. So it's pretty much a half auto-scroller skip that saves 20 seconds or so, 15, 20, or 40, something, I can't remember. Yeah. I found it like shortly after I actually started playing. I don't know how, but I like just one day just figured it out, and like, wow. That's like one of the only instances where you can actually do something like that, just because the first and second fights of that room are just so close within each other that we can just cancel one out with the other. And yep, that just kind of blew this level open. And then there's just going to be another fight skip just for good measure at the end of the level.
Yeah,
this was one of the longest ones, and then fight skips just made it average, I'd say. Average length.
So he skipped like 1 auto-scroller and 5 fight skips, like just now, and now it's gonna skip another one.
Yeah, this level is just broken. Just in general, whenever you see Mennonite, I mean, you think broken, you are right. Even in Subspace, he is still broken. So I'm skipping over another one that is kind of like trapezoidy. Because not every single one is a rectangle, but like the gist of it is a rectangle. Yeah. So that one I had to go a bit more up to skip over. Now we're coming up on Yoshi, and we're not using Link because Link is utter garbage in Subspace. Do not use him unless you're doing a jumpless challenge. Yoshi's main movement is just going to be egg roll. It's just fast. So we're going to be coming up on actually another potential pause glitch. This one's the easiest I've found, but I have messed it up many times before. There you go. I messed up the... Please tell me you're gonna die. Okay. Yeah, that boomerang pyramid was a bit too much to the right, so I was worried. So by me standing like where I was, it killed the rest of the enemies that were gonna be spawning throughout that fight.
That was really well done.
And then at the beginning of this, I got like a little momentum boost from correctly timing the egg roll cancel, which is hard to do.
Yeah, so just to reiterate what Tex said earlier about pause glitch. On the first frame, when you enter a fight, if you hit pause, instead of locking the camera like it usually does, the camera will move around. But the blast zones will remain the same. So you can't just leave the fight, you still have to kill the enemies. Yeah,
on that slope, if I moved like more down, I would have just exploded in like thin air to like most people.
Yeah, it's really funny actually. But it does have an advantage, and that is whenever an enemy gets like thrown off stage, they instantly die. And since the camera follows you, if you move away such that the enemy gets off screen, they instantly die. And that's the whole appeal of pause glitch. Moving in ways to make the enemies go off screen.
And then there is a strat at that fight with Yoshi where I use his dash grab to throw out the shell pod because they take a lot of hits. And I guess that's another thing that I can talk about with enemies is that each enemy has like their own set like amount of like health and whatnot, and so some will take more hits than others. And then another unique thing that you'll see me do in fights, and especially horde fights, is trying to hit one enemy into another to quickly kill them, and it just cancels out any like rolling animation to a blast zone that's pretty slow. So that's normally what I want to do. So here's a little Brawl technique with Pikachu, quick attack canceling, where if I buffer a jump after the second part of the quick attack on the ground, I'm able to just get an instant jump, and I can chain those for some nice looking movement.
Yeah, so you can actually skip this fight, but it's like really hard.
Yeah, I'm never doing a full run. There's a very stupid skip for that fight where you go under. And you have to do it twice. You have to literally do it entering the room and then exiting it. I'm never doing it.
And both are really hard. Also, another fun fact is that it was on this level that pause glitch was both discovered, and then a year later that its application was discovered too. Both happened in this stage.
Yep. Towards the last fight, I think.
Yeah, it was discovered in the last fight, and the application was found in the one he just finished.
So now I'm gonna just make Pikachu walk in place.
The Pika walk.
Go. I don't know when this was discovered, but this has always been a thing that runners do. Just walk on this. It just randomly stops you, and you just walk. You can just do whatever.
Whilst we have Pikachu moonwalking, should we take a quick donation?
Yep, good timing.
Awesome, we've got another $5 from Ara that says, good pause glitch. Another 5 on the table if you get another.
Oh, I see. Alright, Ara, very good friend of mine. who is quite the ultimate speedrunning gamer. Ultimate as in Smash Ultimate.
Also, I should refer back to their prior donation that they actually called you Techstrobe.
Yeah, that's a running meme. Alright, just do some... I've messed up that movement recently. It's kind of weird. Coming up on the end of the level, though. So I like to split this game up into sections, even though there really is like no sections, it's just 31 levels. So what I have as the first 10, like early game, second half, or the second set of 10, like mid game, so on, so on. And so even though like there's a bunch of unique levels with different kind of duration length and whatnot, it all ends up being like half an hour each, which is pretty interesting with this game. So now we're coming up on Lakeshore, and to start off we're gonna have some of the worst fights in the game because god, these suck.
Yeah, they do.
So just the AI is just very finicky, even like on easy. Like, come on.
Oh, I didn't kill.
Don't you? I had to shield that. I have to do it back here. Or not, I guess. Wow, this is not fair at all. Jump, please.
So we really just want to gimp them and get quick kills.
Yep.
This is not at all like competitive play at all.
Yep. Well, do you think it's over? No, it's not.
No.
Coming to an even worse one.
Yeah, it becomes even worse.
So yeah, there's like, these AIs have like set patterns, like a whole bunch of patterns they can do. What I was aiming for with Zelda there is that I was hoping she would use her double jump, because each time she does, I just move a bit further back and then just forward smash and she'd be done with. This fight has no set thing to do, just hit them off to the left, hopefully. Why you down B, Yoshi? Ah, that's not killing. And then getting the wrong hitbox can really screw me over, just like it did there. Jump. Like there again. Who wants to see a funny kill? Woo. Bumpers are kind of OP.
Wow.
Alright, that was not good at all, and that's Brawl RNG. Brawl AI. Even though it's on easy, like they can still, like some of these fights can still seem like level 9 CPUs. Here's another attempt at a pause glitch, and one that will look funny if I get it, but it will save like 10 seconds. Like pretty late. That's like really a hard timing one. All these pause glitches obviously have visual cues, but it's not like it's not guaranteed to get them every time, because you're still doing a 1/60th of a second strat on a 60 FPS video game. There we go. Alright, and now we're pretty much Yoshi for the rest of the level, because Yoshi will be good for the ending section. And we're actually about to come up to another auto-scroller. I know it might seem like there's quite a lot, but I swear they go by quicker than you think. So we can have another donation or two.
I can talk to you about the speedrunstore.com, and I'm going to do it in the lovely format of Polister himself. Have you checked out speedrunstore.com yet? 100% of the proceeds during ESA Summer will be donated to Save the Children, including the proceeds from the fabulous event hoodie and shirt shown on the stream in the interval. Right now, speedrunstore.com. This is just for you, Policer. And also, again, guys, we are raising money for Save the Children, so if you do want to know a little bit more about Save the Children is transforming the way emergency care is delivered, putting a world-class team of health professionals to work for children anywhere in the world within 72 hours. They have delivered a quality education to over 273 million children in the last decade, more than any other global development organization. So any donation that you guys can give, exclamation mark donate in the chat or in the panels below to donate towards some amazing incentives, amazing prizes, and towards some amazing causes for the charity involved.
Alright, coming up to the end, and I guess one thing that I can mention regarding loads is normally if I already have a character that I'm entering a part of a level with and enter another part, just like right now, entering with Yoshi saves a few seconds over entering with any other character just because Yoshi's already preloaded. That double's hard to get. And so that's ideally what I want to do unless one of the non-preloaded characters suck. In this case everyone does but Yoshi. If I do this right, I haven't done this in ages now. I could actually get through this this fire column if I did the movement right. Wow, I don't remember the last time I've gotten hit there. Probably years. So now there's another instance here of a pause glitch, but I'm not going for it because the fight strat is very wonky and it's one that saves 3 seconds, so just one of them that I'm not comfortable going for in a full run. Now these shade-off enemies, we can only hit them when their blades are open. And that one's going crazy. I've not seen that in ages. Jeez. Took like 10 seconds to spawn. Alright. So we're out of that god-awful level. And we play as the mother boy. And so this will be the second of 2 fight skips that we do with Lucas. Just because, you know, his up B is pretty good. And Sakurai and the team not making these fight triggers correctly, so we skip another fight there and then get over that gap with a magnet boost. And then more just movement pretty much. Alright. So, I guess I could talk about some characters that aren't used in the run, because there might be some people wondering, why aren't you using Squirtle right now? Why didn't you use Link in the Force before? Isn't he rad cool? Sadly, even though the core mechanics of Subspace changed most characters, where some were buffed, some were nerfed, like depending on things like run speed and whatnot, there are still characters that are overall better to use, obviously, so that is clearly why I am not choosing Squirtle, as sad as the Squirtle fans in the chat are. He'll be used very shortly, but like I'm just saying in general, just picking whoever's the fastest. Because the whole thing of Subspace being a fun mode and all is that you have the joy of picking whoever you want, whenever you're able to, that is. But you know, to sacrifice for speed, we don't. We don't have fun. I mean, we do have fun, but like, we just choose the faster characters. Alright. So now we're coming up on another false character, and this one will be Wario, and there's 2 ways to do this fight quickly. One way is somewhat still used, but is a bit annoying to get around. So I could PK fire him into one of these walls for 60% and then up smash, or I can hope to God that RNG is good and just yeet him. And he's biting me, okay? Okay, this is very weird RNG. He's got a wand. Alright, well, this isn't good at all. Ow. And, alright. Yeet. So, that's the other fast strat, that RNG dependent. Yeah. The RNG in this run is like pretty controlled outside of AIs, like you saw in Lakeshore, and there. It's pretty, like, obviously this run has a large amount of RNG in it, but it is very controllable. It's just the AIs is the worst part of it. Now we play Yoshi again, because egg roll and he's good for fights. Just characters that are all around good are pretty good for this. Okay, I didn't know if there was another Goomba spawning.
Do we have time for a donation?
Yes, we do.
Lovely. We have $35 from Argos01. No comments, but the $35 goes towards the Dark... I think it's Sassy. I'm not sure if that's how you pronounce it, but to the Dark Sassy incentive for the Dark Souls free run. That is now currently at... Let me have a look-see. $810 out of $1,500 to be met. So, guys, if you want to get that extra content for Dark Souls free with the bonus game, all you got to do is donate towards the incentive. Make sure that when you donate, that you actually tick the incentive and then put the money that you are wanting to donate towards the incentive of choice. Thank you again, Argos01, for the donation.
Alright. Very conveniently, right there. Everyone's favorite brawl mechanic, the trick. Thank you, Sakurai. Based Sakurai. Yes, it can still happen in Subspace, but they did nerf it. It's harder to get. It's not the 1 in 100 you would get in normal Brawl, but I don't know the exact percentage or whatever, but it is still a thing. There's another pause glitch. That was like one of the only ones that I actually go for that saves less than 3 seconds. Ooh, perfect timing there to get the damage boost, and okay. I don't think I held down, but apparently I did, so I fell through that platform. Alright, everyone get your 20-second taste of Link here. You'll never see him again. So slow. I really don't know how I died there. Alright, there we go. Hope you enjoyed Twilight Princess playthrough. So now we're gonna be Squirtle for the person that asked for Squirtle. Because 1, it's fast, and 2, they asked for it, so I might as well be nice. And there's, at the start of this level, in the ruins, there's a cycle that we make, that we can only make with Squirtle and not Lucas. And there'll be these blocks going down, and we want to get through this one right here. Save a few seconds. Hello, Knuckles. It's the trophies in Subspace, if everyone remembers. Oh my god, that's not cool. I can still make it without dying. Okay. Yeah. If everyone remembers the trophies in the game. We obviously skip them because this is 90%, so we don't really collect them, but if I was doing 100%, that's one that I would collect. And then as well with trophies, there are stickers, which if everyone remembers, I actually don't think I've ever used a sticker, like whenever I casually played this as a child. It wasn't that visible, but you literally have the option that says sticker. But it does help with buffs to your characters, you can add damage buffs, speed buffs and whatnot, but in this speedrun and throughout its history it's always been done with no stickers, just plain vanilla Brawl.
Yeah, I feel like the biggest problems with stickers is that they're just one-time use only. So if you waste them, then you just lose them.
Yeah. Unless you play I played this game for probably like 2,000 hours and have like 500 of each. Go ahead, knock yourself out. I'm probably not going to bother. I completely forgot. I should be dead and Lucas right now because I want to be doing a damage boost at the end of this level. And it saves a whole 1 second, and the damage will carry through to the next room where I can very easily die if I get bad RNG. So how fun. I want to like normally be at 150 to get a good size damage boost, but I kind of SD'd a bit late, so I'm probably only going to be able to get to... Ooh, that's good RNG. Getting out. Well, I'm too late anyway. Okay. So here I'm entering 100% door to cancel this auto-scroller so that I can set myself up for not a magnet boost, right? I'll still be able to get the damage boost there just because of my health. But right there I was going to do a magnet boost into a damage boost. But I neutral bead somehow by accident. So now the damage carries over and all that time save, probably like 0.1 seconds to possibly die. You know, here at the Brawl community, we too like to play dangerously, so the only way I can like possibly die is a mine bomb spawning in the third fight of these sets of fights, or a bomb spawning right there and me nearly forward airing it. So I'm just waiting and timing out these up smashes like in the first fight, just to kill everything in one go and, you know, properly time those Shados. There we go, and now a set of buttons, and then we're gonna go into annoying fight to do with Lucas, though Squirtle's even worse, so very cool. We're gonna be fighting Charizard because Pokemon Trainer took you, Lucas, into the ruins to help him get Charizard back, and so Charizard's at this level, and the way we're going to be killing him is another kind of like back throw spike strat, but for this one, Lucas's back throw, his spike is his down, or his back air right there, and the only way I can get that hitbox, it's very finicky in Vanilla Brawl, but the only way I could get that is by hitting the top of the enemy. So that one's like actually a hard back air to hit, and I probably just made it look easy for no reason. But that's one of the harder spikes to hit in this game. And now, hey look, Broken Knight is back. So this level is very interesting. If Desh, you want to mention about a certain funny clip that I'm gonna attempt and hopefully get.
Yeah, so along the left edge you can see like these small platforms. Mennonite can actually upbeat through them in a way and like glitch into the mountains. So at a later point he'll go up against like a wall and try to upbeat into it and hope to like phase through it essentially.
Yeah, it will look completely like broken because we're playing obviously a broken character. Here I'm doing infinite dimensional cape, a glitch where if you do the right inputs and long enough you can just be invisible and move along the plane there. So hopefully I might actually just straight up go for this until I get it because it just looks so funny. But I want to time and jump and upbeat to clip into this mountain and just completely go through it.
Yeah, it's very precise.
It's like pixels and that kind of thing. The time save for this is only 10 seconds, so I've already lost that. So I might as well just get it then. But if I were to go all the way to the top, we'd skip a fight anyway. But yeah. This does have a visual cue, but it's very precise to hit. I might give this a few tries, because this is just not working out. There we go. So we just clip into the mountain. I hope my 30 seconds of time loss was well worth your entertainment.
Yeah, that's worth it.
Recently, I've gotten it more often than not, but I've barely played the game much this month, so...
I actually think I've never gotten it properly.
I use like a very specific spot in the background for that visual cue. Like there's a dark spot on one of the rock formations. It's just very awkward. It's always been an awkward thing to get, just because it's like one of the only strats that involves pixel, to the pixel or whatever, something like that.
Yeah. How did you even discover that?
That was another runner who discovered it and said he clipped through the mountain, but he didn't have it on a video. So then the same day, I decided to try it out for myself. He was able to remember, I don't know how I lost my glide there. He was able to remember the specific spot where he did it, and so I spent 30 minutes doing it and got it, and then that was a thing. Yeah, it's only 10 seconds, but it's still a pretty cool strat. So just do a glide over the cannons, because who needs cannons?
Yeah, gliding is so good in this game.
Now we fight another boss. The only boss be, I think, right? I don't remember. I don't really play Ultimate anymore. The only boss from Subspace to be brought back to Ultimate. Could be wrong. That was pretty good RNG though. And so we just demolish him with nairs. It's Mennonite's nair is pretty good for bosses. You'll see the same thing for Great Maze. And now our heroes are trapped underground where Gallium falls down, and we use the broken move that was discovered week 1 of Brawl's release that absolutely kills bosses. Anyone remembers? Charizard the Rock Smash. That's how to destroy a boss in Brawl. And so we just kill a boss in 15 seconds.
Yeah, it's
It'll be also used in the Great Maze. And so here we go. Here's time to mention about PAL again, and the reason why we're playing on PAL. So playing on PAL because of pretty much this, even if the other smaller stuff wasn't a thing, it'd pretty much just be solely for this. So only on PAL we can actually skip this auto-scroller, so I just skipped past an entire auto-scroller that I was supposed to do by skipping the first fight there, and then just dying in a certain spot, carrying my spawn point over past the auto-scroller. And yeah, skip it. It may just seem like I just died and just death warped, which I did, but I just skipped an entire minute auto-scroller, and that in total saves about a minute 20 seconds, a minute 25, and that's the biggest reason why PAL is the fastest. So to any of the EU audience possibly wanting to ever get into this game, you're already ahead of the curve, likely having PAL. So there's that little skip. It's not very hard to do either. You literally just skip over the fight, and then you literally just die. You save a minute and a half for dying. I mean, that's some great design, isn't it? So PAL is version 1.01, and for some reason, even though it was the earlier or later release, I can't remember. It has a few tiny differences compared to NTSC, and that's just one of them for Subspace. There'll be another that will come up, but on a much smaller scale. I didn't mean to get hit by that bullet bill, so I had to save myself by teching onto that top wall, because if I didn't tech, I probably would have been stage spiked.
Yeah.
I didn't want that hammer, but sure. Everyone's favorite item. So regarding fights and items, some of the good items, like hammer, big mushroom, and whatnot, it's not always the best thing to get. Like, sometimes I just really just want to be just normal, just no items for a fight. Because that's pretty much how a lot of the fights were optimally, like, designed for a full RTA speedrun, because it's just... you never know what you're gonna get. Because this game is an RNG generator. So there I shortened this auto-scroller by entering 100% door in the blast zone so that I can save a few seconds, get this door to spawn up, and I'm gonna die and be Diddy because I'm gonna be going into a very memorable fight for some, and you're gonna see it absolutely demolished. So we're gonna fight Giant Monkey, and we're gonna spawn as Diddy just for a quick load, and we're gonna just see him get yeeted out of existence. I hope your childhood has been ruined. And now we're gonna go back to Fox because now we need to be speedy again. But that was just a little thing with Diddy. Just one of those few instances where I go into another area and spawn in the same character because fast loads. A bit late. I tried to get that back here. We're coming up on the halfway point. This is pretty much the halfway point of Subspace. Pretty long, even for a speedrun. Normally, I think I see people's casual playthroughs on like at least easy mode. Though, like you never see those anymore. It's always like intense mode. But normally, this game is like casually completable in like 8-12 hours, I'd say. Speedrun has come a long way since then. It's literally not even that long ago, literally like a few years ago, it was only just above 2.5 hours. And then it gets demolished with Desh finding fight skips and then us implementing it and then other stuff being figured out later on.
Do we have time for a donation?
Yes, we do.
Lovely, we got another $5 from Ara. That says, I'm pretty sure you got the second pause glitch, and I can confirm that at the time when the donation came in, the pause glitch afterwards was met, so the $5 is indeed valid. So thank you so much for that $5 donation right there, buddy.
Thank you, Ara. I actually don't remember if I hit a second one, but
I can remember quite clearly.
Okay, I don't. I'll take the $5. There you go.
Thank you so much for the $5 going towards Save the Children.
Okay, so side B into the door there, and now we're gonna be playing as Zero Suit for the first part. I actually figured out some very annoyingly difficult quick attack movement for this first room with Pikachu a month ago, and Pikachu's actually faster by like maybe 2 seconds. But in RTA, it's ridiculously hard to do all of it, so I just stick with ZSS. So then just have to get through these blocks, and then instead of using the ladder, we just down air. Then we're coming up against another annoying fight that can go very wrong, where we fight against false Samus, or Sami, I don't know how you want to call it, two Samuses. And the strat I'm going to be using here is, wow, they just went one or the other way. I'm going to be popping them up with the down air, that's the best move to pop them up with, and then thundering them off the top. Right, that wasn't half that bad.
Okay, so someone in the chat asked if there was any glitches discovered here in the last 5 years, and
oh, a lot.
Yeah, a lot. Most of the glitches, I want to say, have been found like within the last few years.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
like pause glitch and some fight skips. The snake skip, that one is insane, and it's coming up like.
Yeah.
soon-ish.
My marathon run that I did 8 months ago, I got it, so hopefully I can get it again. It's pretty difficult, but yeah. So I picked Samus pretty much because we're going to be doing a death warp / fight skip. Because I do want to be Pikachu for the end, so I want to spawn as Samus. I accidentally short hop there, which I shouldn't have done. So I had to do an up B to get to the specific spot in order to reach the death warp. So I just skipped a fight with that death warp and thundered up button to activate these platforms. Now, hopefully, you're going to see some really fast-paced quick attack movement.
Oh, that was clean.
Alright. So I just did a bunch of quick attacks because that's the fastest movement, obviously, and that was pretty much perfect. So now we have another boss. It's the guy that was too big to be in Smash. Here he is too big to be in Smash, so he's a boss. And sadly, we don't have like any good characters for this fight. Both Samus and Pikachu, I'd say, suck. So the best we have is Pikachu up smash. And hopefully get a good RNG move, because he's definitely going to do another one. Alright, let's not. There we go. So hopefully that was an enjoyable level. It's pretty much one of the enjoyable ones past the Samus fights. Doing everything right. So now, hey look, we're playing a fast... Wait, what? He's not fast. Why does he look so slow? Core mechanics. So yeah, run the speed with faster characters nerfed just because Sakurai felt like it. But definitely better than Olmar. There's another pause glitch I was going to go for, but I think it was a bit early. So I just do this fight normally. And we're coming up into a very horrendous word fight I hate. Where we actually are going to be Monkey again. I promised he'll be back. But first we have to be Falcon.
Yeah, so Tech won't be picking up any stickers because they are banned for this category.
Yep. So now I'm gonna die. That metal helped a lot to despawn those Shadas, because if no one's on screen, they'll just despawn. I'm gonna do a funny monkey slap and bad RNG already, very cool, and hope I get big mushroom. Hope these guys all run to me. Alright. That horde fight is very annoying. If you get just random bad RNG, it can go all different types of ways. Alright. So this first part of this level is funny. You're gonna see some hopefully really cool Mennonite vertical movement. There's a cycle at the top with the barrel that I want to make. That's very hard to do. I have to like pretty much not mess up a single thing.
Yeah, this movement is really clean, and it's been like lagged by Techstrobe here. He's focused a lot on like individual levels and completely mastered them.
Alright. There you go. I didn't make the barrel cycle, but still pretty good. It's very hard to get into that barrel in the middle of those barrels there. But yeah, that was some pretty sick Mennonite movement, right? But then you're pretty hyped to see what's next. Alright, enjoy a 2-minute auto-scroller. And here's where donations are best.
Absolutely right. We have got a few donations coming in. Let me just refresh. So we've got $25 from Numpty. that says first time seeing a Smash Bros speedrun, and it's awesome. Thanks for the entertaining run, and all for a great cause as well. And that goes towards... Ooh, they've chosen Black Penguin for the blindfold choice for the very next run for Bubsia with Super Smash Bros. Melee. So that's $25 going to Black Penguin. Thank you so much, Numpty. And also we've got a $50 donation from, let me pronounce his name, is Pistenswerg. And that goes towards 2 incentives. Also, the comment is just less than 3. So the incentives that it goes towards is the Dark Sassy, any percent bonus game within the Dark Souls free run, and then Super Mario 64 70-star, the blindfolded showcase of the LBLJ, both $25 towards each bid incentive. Thank you both so much for your donations there.
Yep, thank you. This is definitely a good watch. As I'm saying that as an auto scroller is playing out, but yeah, this is honestly the majority of this run is quite fast paced, regardless of Brawl's like slower sort of mechanics and gameplay compared to other Smash releases. But it is definitely a very good watch, very fun run. It's pretty much the like grand run of Smash speedrunning. Just use a whole bunch of different characters, a bunch of different mechanics, and it's very enjoyable. I keep accidentally hitting the wrong one first there. Now I have to pay the price by... Oh, that? Okay, so this is a case of... Ooh, big Mennonite. You think that's good. No, that's bad. That's very bad. And there's your reasons why. So yeah, good RNG per se is not always the best. So I guess really quickly, I haven't mentioned, I don't know if you're gonna, I can't think of any others, or well, you're gonna see it a lot in Maze, is when I was entering this area, I was doing a lot of, that was a very good Lucario kill, I was doing a lot of up airs with jumping. Some people that might look weird, but actually the end lag of Mennonite's full hops, like air hops, he does have end lag, and to cancel that out, I try to perfectly get a up air each, like hopefully the frame after the jump, and that will cancel out the lag, and it's a little bit faster movement. And you'll be seeing quite a bunch of that in Maze. So here is Kirby, but you haven't seen him in ages. Little Kirby. This level used to be Yoshi used to be the optimal character until I decided to try out Kirby, mainly because his load is like a second and a half faster into this level than Yoshi. But he actually ends up having really sick strats that I was hopefully gonna do until I picked up a hammer, where I would constantly kill these waves of gliders that are spawning below and hit them into each other, and it's pretty cool, but sadly I can't do that because RNG. Ow. Alright, this is not good RNG. But yeah. This used to be pretty much a Yoshi stage until we actually decided to use Kirby like a few months ago. This hammer will hopefully be good. Big Kirby with the hammer. Alright. And now we're coming up on the wow moment, the wowie moment, where I'm going to be doing a skip that I recently added to runs last year. That is a 20-second time save if done, and 40 second time loss if not done correctly. But first, to get there, I'm going to be doing dash attack, cancel, up smash. If anyone recognizes this Brawl technique, this is probably the one. Fastest movement with Snake, and now we have Snake skip, hopefully.
Okay, let's see if he gets it.
I'm way too far. Oh, this might still be able to work. How did that work? Okay, it's not over yet. Oh my god. Alright, that should be it. I have no clue how. I was way too far in the first one. I don't know. I thought I was in a cutscene. I don't know why I was sitting there. Alright, that's Snake Skip. I just skipped an entire room where there's a bunch of portals and buttons after hitting those portals. And instead I said no. Sakurai, no. I will not.
Yeah.
And so, I just... Well, you can explain it,
yeah, I can explain the skip. So you can actually start the level by going above, like this place at the beginning where you just fall down.
The geometry is just below the blast zone, like the top geometry, so we're able to do that. You'll see it happen again in another skip soon.
Yeah. So this skip was theorized by another runner, I think it was Gary Too Scary, and he tried it out and he got like somewhat close, but he never got it. And then I tried it like myself a lot and didn't get it. And then in a world record run, Rubber Ducky Assassin, who got the world record in a run, he asked me in the chat if I had heard of the skip and asked me to try it. And I tried it while he got the world record, and I managed to pull it off to prove it was possible. And now we finally, like maybe a year later or even more, we have started to implement it into runs.
Yep. So, just a bunch of C4 hits. If anyone's familiar with Duelist Pro, that fun little Brawl minigame that you probably played as a child with people, just constant C4ing yourself with Snake. And so now we have one of the worst fights that, well, I had a bad roll there. That nearly just went really good, where we just down smashed up and Peach. Go away. That's one of the worst fights.
Yeah, but Mennonite is really good.
Yeah. Alright. So now we got through that level. That's definitely one of the more worrying ones. Before my current record of 152, I had attempted Snake Skip in 2 previous records, and I was not able to get them, but the current record was the first time was the first actual PB I got with Snake Skip in it, and that time just now is probably literally the 6th time I've done it in a full run. It's really not common at all for me to get it.
Yeah, I think we're the only 2 who has ever done it in a run.
Yeah. Try to short up. Oh. So now here is Sheik, and Sheik is better than Peach at this level because movement. Fun fact: the 4th box on the bottom, that enemy, the blue enemy, is a enemy that was cut from Subspace. The model still exists, called the Jizzo, or Mizo, I think. Mizo. I think it's a Mizo, right?
I don't remember.
One or the other. I'm pretty sure. It was gonna be in the water levels, but then they cut it for some reason. Okay. Please. So, just a case of doing a specific hitbox, specific move to kill those enemies. Supposed to get the strong hit in there, but kind of flubbed that. And so at the end of this level is a moving section, so if I want to get to there in time to reach a door, I have to move through this. And I'm taking a lot of damage, and okay. Alright, Peach ending, I guess.
Ooh.
Oh, that was bad. So, now we're Peach, when I did not want to be, but it's not the end of the world. Just slow. I have not done this in ages. Okay. So now we're just gonna be Peach and float to the end. Alright, but yeah, I was trying to make that door cycle hopefully stay under 100%, because just like in Melee, if you're over 100%, your ledge get-ups are slower. And I do rolls from ledge with Sheik because of the chain movement. So now we're fighting do on a very annoying boss, and Snake is the fastest character that we know of with F-tilt. And we just do a bunch of F-tilts and then the fight's over. And hopefully we get some good RNG from the moves and probably item spawns. No, that's good. Right. I mean, this is good move RNG that's not hitting me. And then that happens. Grenade. So yeah. Item RNG can be very helpful in this, but sometimes you just never get it. So now we have a very unique stage here, where I'm going to be doing a cool little clip into the level with Pikachu.
The elevator clip.
So just by literally timing just run into the wall. Oh, I was supposed to go through the rest of the level. Oh well, I still made it over. This barely saves much time if I don't get to the go through the rest of the level. But yeah, I just clipped through the first part of the level with a timing of running into the wall, and we're able to just skip a bit of elevator downtime, pretty much.
So you're supposed to instantly die if you get squished, but you can't get squished while you're in the bonking against the wall animation.
Yep. Alright, now we're coming up on every speedrunner's nightmare in this game. Bomb Factory 2 is an awful, in every way, level. You have very annoying RNG and movement that can go wrong. You have a horde fight that is just horrible, and a fight skip that, if you're on good pace and very, very nervous, can easily fail. So that's fun. Oh yeah, and then a boss that can also go horribly wrong. Everything you want in a speedrun. Pretty much.
So, what's your least favorite stage in Subspace?
Yeah, probably this.
This? Okay. I think this might be like my second worst, or least favorite. The worst one for me is the giant Diddy one. What's that? The swamp.
Swamp, yeah. Normally, there's normally a select few that majority runners will hate. Oh, please don't happen again. Okay. I nearly died there because I did a early jump, but I luckily got the ledge. If I died there, it would have been literally the marathon run from 8 months ago all over again, and I would have been sad. So now this room is just hitting a few buttons, and Captain Falcon is pretty good for this first part of this level.
Yeah. Okay, so I think I should mention, we got Dylan Stash in the chat. He is a tasser of this game, and like a week ago he completed a task of the entire Subspace Emissary on Intense. So absolutely give that a watch. It's absurd.
He did a second one. He finished the first one a few months prior, and then just felt like, hey, I feel like doing another one for some reason.
Let's do it again.
And then saved, what, like 7 minutes? Very interesting, especially Maze. Used a different character. It's quite explosive, ha ha ha, funny pun. So I would say, go watch that, yeah. If you enjoy watching games get blown to shreds, that task is definitely a good watch.
Yeah.
So I could do a pause glitch here, but I'm not very comfortable with it. If I do it correct, if I were to go for it and do it correctly, I could actually skip a key that I'm supposed to get here. And it looks very cool, but the timing and visual cue, I'm not very used to it recently. So we're just gonna take our key and go. Now we're going into a horrible horde fight that can go wrong very easily. And Falcon is
I like this right at the beginning. You just wait at the edge.
Yeah, you just wait in towards the blast zone to despawn the auroras that are at the top, And though pretty much you need to kill them to spawn in others. Very nice mind bomb game. And then here's another case of, no, I don't want a big mushroom. This is actually like the worst time to get it. Cause these, it just doesn't hit them. Okay. So if I hit the Nagagogs, these enemies, they'll like spawn into their bigger states if I don't hit them quick enough. Just some enemies in this game are very annoying to get by. Okay, I'm gonna hit him this direction so I can make this in time. Because I want to do a set way of these kills so that I can one-shot them. Like that. Little falcon for the fans. And here's another minute time save by skipping an auto-scroller.
Yeah. This time save or thing was actually initially discovered by Dylan Stesh, the taster.
Yeah. And so, just like the snake skip, we can skip over to the top of the geometry because it doesn't reach all the way to the blast zone. And we SD because on PAL, that's where the time save is. We can do that exact same thing on NTSC, but on PAL, the camera gets locked for some reason rather than being unlocked. And so by that, on PAL, doing that version, because we can SD rather than having to go all the way down and be robbed, we can pick Falcon and be a fast faller and get through these next few sections. And then we save 7 seconds around that. So that's the second biggest time save with PAL. The 1 minute 25 second auto scroller skip in Wilds 2, and then like 7 second time save for the PAL version of the Bomb 2 skip, pretty much.
Yeah.
So now we are Monkey again. We are gonna be Monkey to destroy another boss. So this fight is always one of the most annoying bosses because it can go really good or really bad. It all just depends on the timings of when Meta Ridley leaves and whatnot. This is really good RNG, so I can just up B here. If I did one more hit, I would have killed him at 142, which would have been pretty good. 140 or above is still really good, so that wasn't half bad of a level. That's one of the scariest for runners, especially because it's at the end, and it's got everything bad in it that you don't want.
Do we have some time for some donations?
Yes, we're actually coming up on another auto scroller.
Good timing. Right, we have $25 from Rachel Ham. No comments, but their donation goes towards the Dark Sassy Any % a bid incentive. Let me just do a refresh to see where we're at the moment. Currently at $870 out of $1,500. I swear I get that math always wrong. So not too much to reach that bonus game and a bit more Dark Souls in your life. And we've also got a $10 donation from Rox that says, "Can't believe Tech is running the best Kirby game on the main stage. Good luck on the rest of the run." And that goes again towards the Dark Sassy incentive. So thank you guys both for your donations. Thank you so much.
The Kirby game nod, because people do say this is a Kirby game. It's made by Sakurai, the main protagonist is Kirby, blah blah blah, this and that. So that's like pretty much the reason for why people may call it a Kirby game. So now we're going to be doing another broken Mennonite glide. Ooh, who... I mean, of course we are.
Yeah,
but,
a triple fight skip.
Yep, and we were skipping out 3 fights just because Sakurai allowed us to. Alright, so now we have 2 more levels, and these 2 upcoming levels are the levels where we choose to save whoever we want, however many characters we want, to take into the Great Maze, and I'm only going to be saving... I did the wrong movement. I have to save myself with an up B. Watch this. Oh, I guess not. Alright, Luigi level, I guess. I did the complete wrong movement at the start. I was thinking of the IO movement, which I should have not done. I want to be Ness. I was going to show off some cool up B strat that I've been getting a lot recently, but I guess not. Yeah, I'm not familiar with Luigi in this level, so
yeah,
this is gonna be bad.
Luigi and DDL are like really slow here, except for in tool assisted.
Wanted to take that taxi. This is
no.
Alright. But for this level, I'm actually be saving a few characters. I'm pretty much only going to save Charizard, which we have to take a little detour from the ending here to get him. Charizard will help us because of him being the boss killer. He'll help us with 2 bosses in the maze. And then I'm saving a few other characters here, DK, and they're pretty much the rest here in this level are just for menuing. Just to make it quicker to pick, you know, guess who, Mennonite, for the Great Maze. Because we do a couple of strats where we do quit out of the maze just to save time from backtracking. Did I pick up Marth? I can't remember.
Yeah, you did.
Okay. Yeah, there's just only 3 other characters here. Alright. I tried to do nest movement and yeah. Alright. Well, at least I'm gonna get a fast load into the level because we're coming back full circle where I am going to suck up Bowser, just like we did with Mario in the first minute of the run, and hopefully not get bad RNG. Alright, decent, and goodbye. Okay, so now we have the last level before the Great Maze. The second one where we save characters, but obviously I'm not saving everyone. The only character I'm saving here is Mennonite, because Mennonite, yeah, that's all you get, Mennonite. I don't need to explain anything else. Mennonite in the maze is just completely broken. He's been used since pretty much the beginning of time.
Beginning of time.
Yeah. And so he's just literally gonna just up B and glide everywhere. Oh, I was thinking of the wrong room. I did not want the down B, but sure.
Are we gonna see pause glitch here?
Yeah, I always go for it. I actually, last night when I did my second D-Rust run for ESA, I actually got it.
Oh.
And I think that was the first time I actually got it in the 90% run, because I've gotten it in NG Plus runs, because in NG Plus, where you play on obviously a completed file and do whatever levels in whatever order, I've gotten it plenty of times there, but I think that DRS run last night was the first time I got it in a full run, and it actually is a really cool one, because it's the one that saves the most time out of any fight in this game. I think it's like 12 seconds. The visual cue is very awkward that I use, but doing the fight normally isn't even that bad. But like you just skip so many, because there's so many enemies in the fight that you can skip with this pause glitch. Yeah, it'd be nice to get 3 pause glitches. You know, marathon run. Normally my average is like 2, but normally there are 2 pretty easy ones. Yeah, that was like a frame early. So I would have just up-aired that Primate that I hit, and then just went off to the right and just died, and then just spawn into the door, pretty much. Hopefully that's all of them. Alright, that was a really good fight. Cool.
Do we have some time for some donations?
Yep.
Lovely. We have got $20 from Jarrett. That says, I love you all. No, you first off. No, we love you right back. And that $20 goes towards the Star Wars Knights of the Old Republic any percent. And the choice is randomized heads. That's going to be hilarious. And we've also got $50 anonymous donation. No comment, but it does go towards that blindfolded LBLJ for the Super Mario 64 70-star run. Thank you guys for the donations.
Alright, now we're coming up to everyone's favorite part of the mode, the Great Maze, where everyone gets lost and spends days trying to figure out where to go. And I am just going to completely obliterate your childhood in hopefully less than 30 minutes. So clearly Mennonite, being the triple S tier that he is in this game, we're going to be using him for pretty much almost everything in the maze. Most boss kills, all enemy kills, movement, blah blah blah, this and that. So the Great Maze, if people don't know about Subspace and the Great Maze is pretty much just a recreation of the entire Subspace Emissary in this whole little world, and little bits and pieces of the environment are kind of added together, and all the characters are falsified, so we try to kill them. That was bad, that should not kill. So now what I do for the majority of the kills are going to be pretty much dash attack up B. That's just the fastest way to kill these enemies on easy mode. And for the character fights, they're going to be spawning on... They have different terrain, like different platforms and whatnot, so all these fights are kind of different in their own little way. Why you trip? That was not good. So some characters I'll just straight up just run dash attack up B them. Some I'll have to drop down platform. Some I just have to do like a completely different strat. That's the uniqueness with the Great Maze in the speedrun. Also, the route is been pretty uniform for most of its time, outside of one change from like a few years ago towards the end. It's been pretty much the same. It's like very like linear where to go, because you can only unlock certain areas after beating a certain character. Like I can, like this second half, this top right portion, I'm only going to be able to get to once I actually go over here and demolish Yoshi real quick. Yeah, the Great Maze in the speedrun is quite fast-paced, and actually, I would like to talk about my grind with the Great Maze, because when I started speedrunning the Brawl in early 2017, it was pretty much mostly Great Maze. And then recently, I actually brought the final time of the Great Maze down to quite possibly the last minute barrier it will ever see. Maybe like some super zoomer in 2032 will just demolish my time anyway, but yeah, for now. And that's definitely one of the best achievements I've had in speedrunning, where I brought the Great Maze time down to a 26.
Can I make a quick announcement?
Yes.
We are very, very close to $43,000 raised. We are just $110 away. Can we meet that $43,000 by the end of the run? We got about half an hour left. I'd love to see some donations from you guys. I'd love to see some donation messages from you guys about what your favorite Super Smash Bros. Character is actually. So please don't forget to send your donations towards Save the Children by doing !donate in the chat, or also going to the panels below the stream.
Favorite Smash Bros. Character? I guess I can add on to that. Who's mine? It's totally like he's not on the screen or anything. I definitely like Brawl. People may say he's like all broken and whatnot, but like he's just insanely fun.
Yeah, he really is. He's my favorite too.
He's definitely like, just if you play him long enough and understand his movement and whatnot, it's just some of the most fun you'll have with the character. So far this maze has been kind of not that great with RNG, sadly. There's a little theory with Great Maze that I sometimes rant about. I'm not gonna like rant about it here. Real quick. Infinite Dimensional Cape, or Invisible Dimensional Cape, whatever it is. You'll see that another time at the end of the run, just a little bit of a time save, then just normal movement. But my little theory about the Great Maze is that it has set seeds. Yes, it's like Minecraft. That it has set seeds of whether or not a enemy will have a certain pattern or not. because all enemies have like certain patterns that they'll do. It's like very recognizable once you played it a bunch. But that my theory is that the maze has set seeds, and I don't know how to activate a certain seed or whatnot, but just no character's ever the same. Oops, I did the wrong character order. I'm barely paying attention. So here I did a quit out just to save time on backtracking, and I was supposed to pick Charizard first. And then I pick Mennonite, because we do SD. We only pick Charizard here to do a boss, and then he's, spoiler alert, used for Taboo, and that's it. And then I pick Kirby third, because you never know what's going to happen with Mennonite. Kirby's actually a decent backup. So we just demolish Duon real quick with Rock Smash, because base Sakurai. And then spawn a Squirtle, because it's actually faster to SD with Squirtle than Charizard into this room. Alright, now we're coming up on some of the more annoying characters. So, well, I messed up that tornado. So some characters, for some odd reason, are more annoying than others. And by that I mean they'll just be like give you more of a hard time, mostly like more commonly give you a very annoying pattern, and just Brawl AI, like just constant jumping. Oh no, I wanted to get that. He'll probably die. Yeah. So Brawl AI is very interesting in Subspace. Some characters are more annoying than others.
Yeah.
Go down. So there's another, in this room there's actually another elevator clip that I could have done, but it saves like 3 seconds, and like to actually do the clip at the right time is just ridiculously hard.
Yeah.
Do we have time for another donation?
Yes. And that was
lovely.
perfect.
We have $50 from Glaurung that says, donating for the record busting Super Zoomer who ain't even born yet or anything. Thank you so thank you so much for the $50, Glaurung. And we are now $60 away. Well, we're actually $50 away now from the 43,000 Mets. So thank you guys so much for your donations. I think we might be reading another donation very shortly as well.
Let's go ahead.
Awesome. Just waiting for those to come through. I think I can see them now. So we've got $5 from Roos SR that says, I played so much Brawl in college that I used to skip classes to play more. So this is amazing to see played so quickly. My favorite Smash Bros characters will always be Snake. Snake! Snake! And that goes towards the Dark Sassy any percent bid. So thank you so much for the $5 towards that donation. And we've also got another $5 donation from Asti that says, starting with Smash Bros on the N64, I've always played Link until Ultimate brought out Byleth. Now Ima goes burr. Thank you so much for the $5 donation. That also goes towards the Dark Sassy any percent as well. So we are now $50 away from 43,000. Can we get that met before the end of the run?
Hopefully, you got another 20 minutes or so. Also, that was a completely horrible Mennonite fight. Just Brawl AI sometimes. Alright. Speed. Oh, well, I didn't get my DI'd away. Alright, thanks for setting up that free kill. There was something I was gonna say and I just completely forgot it. You just know when you have those moments.
Yeah.
Now it's just gonna be stuck with me for like another 10 minutes.
Well, we could talk about like DI in this game. I'm sure there's a lot of people who don't know what that is. So
yeah, you go ahead.
Yeah, so it stands for directional influence. Whenever a character gets launched, if you like point in a direction, you will slightly launch towards that direction too. So if it's like you get launched straight horizontally straight to the side and you point up, you'll also go slightly upwards. And the enemies in the maze can also do this. So if you're unlucky, they will DI, so it becomes harder to combo them. Or they may DI straight down and towards the blast zones, where they just die when they really shouldn't have. So that's just another RNG aspect of this game.
Alright, that was a pretty good Porky fight. And in some points in full runs, it's a little safe to heal if I have too much damage, and some of these bosses can really screw me if I were to get hit by some of the worst moves, but luckily I don't have to heal, so there's a heal point in the run where right now it would be safe, but have good enough percent to just ignore that and pretty much save 15 seconds by just not healing. Right. And we're gonna go visit Monkey one last time, so I know everyone likes the monkey. I hope everyone enjoyed Monkey. Just like another unique little strat on some of these characters, little roll strat. Just based on the environment, the platforms that spawn with these characters. That was perfect, and then I did it a bit late.
Yeah, got the reverse hit.
Yeah. You'll see me intentionally try to go for some reverse hits. That is if I don't kill him with the first up B first time, and then I go off stage and risk it and try to go for a reverse. That's what happened a few times in the Mennonite fight. The Brawl hitbox is very finicky, and you can get a pretty nice reverse, like kind of easily, I'd say, if you do it right. So I'll go for a couple of them if I don't get the kill straight up. If they don't die in the blast zone and they're recovering, I'll very likely go for one of those.
Time for a quick donation.
Sure.
We got $10 from Rainbow Zilla that just says "Let's go," and that also goes towards the Dark Sassy incentive. We're now $40 away from $43,000 raised for Save the Children. Come on, guys, let's raise that last $40. You got this.
Okay, so now I have some stuff that I've recently added to Great Maze when I was doing my grind a few months, or not a few months, like literally a few weeks ago, is there's a bunch of extra glides with Mennonite in here that I didn't do before, that I'm doing now. I literally added like nearly a dozen glides, so a lot of them will be cool, especially one that's coming up. These two like glides back to back are like very hard to do, so now hopefully delay this a little bit and avoid that platform and not grab the ledge, and I didn't cancel it in time, but I still made it. Alright, now we fight Ridley, and then we're going to be doing pretty good another glide as long as I don't take 5,000 damage here. Alright, 40, almost 5,000, you know. Alright, I'm still pretty comfortable with that percent, so I'll go for this glide. Hey, look! Cool. So these are firecrackers. You want them in almost every boss, and, you know, when the game gives it to you at the last second, that's, like, a very cool game. So here's a little cool glide, and I messed it up. Sad. Right there was another healing point that I could have taken, but I feel comfortable with my percent, so just gonna ignore it. But yeah, those firecracker items are another boss killer, pretty much. And you kind of want them for everyone but Rayquaza, because like with the core mechanics and changes, this game also has sort of like a Pokemon kind of like typing system, where some type of moves are better to kill enemies, a certain enemy with. And that's like, you never really see like the difference, especially in a difficulty like easy. Like the only one you can probably notice is Rayquaza taking longer to kill than anyone else, just because the only like effective moves against them are ice moves.
Well, so we do have the Battlefield Fortress, the Sword Primates.
Oh yeah, the Sword Primates. Mennonite would have been like quadrillion S tier if he was just able to one-shot Sword Primates. That's literally the only character in this game on easy mode he cannot one-shot. And that's why in like Battlefield Fortress I picked Marth over Mennonite, because Marth is a bit better there. Alright, so here's a very easy character that I can die to. Right, killed him. Could have easily just F-smash and I would have had to just panic spot dodge or something there, but good. So there's gonna be, after this fight against Falco, there's gonna be hearts. So if I want to stay Mennonite for the next like 2 minutes, I want to actually not die. Alright. Okay, that was bad DI from him. Alright. So now there's two, or one heart. No, yeah, 2 heart containers. So just pick them up to heal. There's only another character and then a boss after this, and then there's like another healing point technically. But may as well just get that in case, because this next character is also one of the worst ones. Just AI is very annoying.
Do we have time for another donation?
Sure.
Lovely, we have $10 from Major Moogle that says, let's go! Let's get Argig in that cursed final boss Sonic suit. If you guys haven't seen it, it is worth putting your money towards because it is very cursed. Also, much love to Nico, who never fails to brighten my day up. And I can just say to that, no you. So obviously that bid does go towards the Sonic 1 SMS Beat the Game in the Sonic cosplay. We gotta meet that. Honestly, we have to meet the cursed Sonic outfit. It's fantastic, and you will love it. We are now $30 away from the 43,000. Can we meet it, guys? We are so close.
I don't know what that Sonic outfit is, but it sounds
it's
very
just
entertaining.
Straight up cursed. It is just straight up cursed.
I've seen some cursed outfits in my days, but if it's something like the first version of the Sonic movie, Sonic, oh god,
it's kind of like an amalgamation.
Okay, yeah, that sounds pretty entertaining to me. That was pretty good RNG. Now we are pretty much in the second half of the Great Maze, and because I picked up the heart containers, I can avoid this heal point here and just continue on. And then Mario here is another very annoying character. He can be very predictable off stage. Like, he delayed his up B there. I was trying to go for a reverse. Oh, a nice trip. How many times have I tripped? Or is it like 4 or something?
Yeah, I think it's 4.
It's like very like, it's like, because it happens less because they did nerf it or buff it, I guess, if you want to say, like, ooh, no more tripping, but it does happen and it's less than normal. The 1 out of 100 in normal Brawl, but normally I'd see like maybe 2 a run. So very interesting. So I have a cool, neat little cycle where I have to play perfectly to actually make it in time here. Hopefully I do.
Yeah, this is a pretty new addition, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
I added quite a lot of things for Maze in the last month or 2, so I made that cycle because if I was too late and hit that button with the up B, it would not hit into that other button that was above in the blocks, so that saves 2.5 seconds, pretty much. I yell him. Okay. Now we have unlocked our last quadrant of the maze, because the maze is divided into quadrants. So now here I'm gonna enter, because in order to be able to spawn back into this specific area, just like I did before Duan for the first quit out, I would have to enter the door to activate that section or that quadrant of maze to be able to be directly spawned into on the map. So that's why I enter that door. Because if I didn't, oh god, I wouldn't want to think if I just somehow did not remember to do that in a marathon run. Okay. Oh, what? Okay. I think I just didn't press jump there by accident, and I did a grounded up B, and that killed when it shouldn't have. But yeah, Mennonite.
Yeah, there's a notable difference between grounded up B and aerial up B.
Yeah. Grounded up B actually is not what you want.
Yeah, sends the enemy straight up, while the other one sends them more to the side.
Yep. And most of the time you'll get a star KO, which is not what you want. So another horrible character that will look easy if she just didn't jump there. Right, jump. Good. Okay. Coming up on our last probably like 5 minutes or so. Got one more quit out, a few more characters, and then hopefully a not bad Taboo. This Taboo is quite a wild card. Everyone remembers those infamous shockwave, the off waves as they're officially called. So what I hopefully want to do, just gonna do a risky up B there. Hopefully what I want to do is kill Taboo before he does that move, because that move, you know, you can't hit him. So I want to be able to kill him before he does that, and it would save quite a bit of time. But, you know, RNG and all, because he is quite a bit RNG dependent, whether or not he'll be good or not. Right.
Can I make a quick announcement?
Sure thing.
We have just raised $43,000. Thank you all so much for your incredible kindness. We just hit that amazing number, guys. So let me read out the donations that got us up towards it. We got A-Dubs with $20 saying make number good, and that goes towards the Dark Sassy Any Percent for the Dark Souls 3 bonus game, and also Bowl Glory that gives $10 towards, you guessed it, the Argic Cursed Sonic cosplay. That says $10 towards Perfect Argic. Guys, again, thank you all so much for the $43,000 raised. Let's keep this train rolling.
Alright. There we go. And then some characters are like very easy to tell when they'll die because of their weight. The weight still applies in this, so even though I upbeat Luigi in the middle of the stage, he just dies. Luigi died by doing absolutely nothing. Okay, this is a bit of awkward movement, always has been. Invis cape up is normally the best movement there. Then up B off platforms to get up quickly into the Quaza. And like I mentioned with typing system that like probably less than like 0.000 like 1% of people know about. Takes longer to kill. Really it takes a bit longer to kill some of these enemies just because they aren't affected against some of these moves more than others. Okay, so now we're gonna go back down to this quadrant, and pretty much the last stretch, and hopefully this will be sub 2. Right. Just only a small handful of characters left. That was such weird drift. Where did my... I don't know where my... please. Do I go for an uppie? Screw it. Okay. just another case of Brawl being Brawl.
Yeah, that's the 5th time you've tripped.
Alright, and then more Mennonite. Vertical movement. Fun, fun, fun. This one's very fast because we don't have to do another fight in between, so this one's like very consistent and fast. Oh, a bit early there. Good RNG. Alright. Yeah, so far, I'd say this maze seed, according to my theory, has been pretty below average. A lot of bad RNG, I'd say. It happens. It's just what maze is.
Yeah.
Jump, please. Oh, really? Okay. Right, I'm gonna do a funny thing if I can hit them off stage again. This is... yeah, this is Popo. So I have them separated, so I just have to kill Popo, which is the main climber. Yeah. That was not great. I was gonna hit them off stage and then use a pitfall, and it would have been haha hilarious funny. Alright, home stretch lasts like 3 minutes or something. So I'm gonna do a glide all the way to the next character. Hit this button to avoid using that cannon over there. And then I'm going to be hopefully skipping a cycle towards the end to enter the next room. Oh my god, this is so bad. Where hopefully I skip a ceiling with spikes that blocks off the pathway by using this cannon and doing the right glide to completely skip having to enter the door there to cancel or to reset it, or hitting a button. And that was done nicely. And then up here I'm going to be using my last case of Infinite Dimensional Cape.
Yeah.
This one's like pretty consistent. So we just completely go all the way to the door, invisible.
Yeah, that trick is like banned in competitive play, actually.
Yep. But not here.
Not here.
Quite a decent time save in places. Alright, we have only Uno Mas, and then Taboo, everyone's favorite boss. Another glide to Ganon here. And then we have killed almost everyone in the Brawl roster, minus a few that are unlocked after you beat the game, which we won't be getting because this is obviously not NG+, or 100%. So now Taboo. So the setup is to obviously Rock Smash, and then Mennonite is a backup in case I die. So pretty much just Rock Smash everything. Time dodges against his bad moves. Alright, not a good move. Ooh, good RNG though. Get a little bit extra damage. I'll take that actually.
Yeah, and time is coming up as soon as the red bar is depleted.
Yeah. Yeah, it's gonna be like another move. Alright, he's probably about to do off waves, sadly. Yeah, that was not good RNG. So, if anyone didn't know how to dodge that, just spot dodge. Alright, just one more. And time. Okay.
GG.
Evil has been destroyed. Peace to the land has been brought back. So, that was Subspace Emissary. Easy. 90%. And I believe that was a 157. I was trying to aim for a 156, but hey, I'll take it. I'm gonna just save the save file because I do like saving my save files. Where's the marathon save file? Oh, right here. There. All right. I guess really quickly I'll put on the ending cutscene and talk about 2 shoutouts that we've already mentioned before, but I want to just re-mention again really quickly. Of where's the movies of the Subspace Emissary world record progression video that was made earlier this month. If you just search up Subspace Emissary world record progression, you'll see that there's a history video of Subspace Emissary 90%. It's pretty detailed, very well made, I'd say. So please go check that out. And there's also, we've mentioned before, Dylan Stegge's second Brawl task that was done a week ago or so. 7-minute time save on his previous task. So that is also another good watch. So just search up just Subspace tests and you'll see probably a plethora of his videos. So that was it. I hope everyone enjoyed this run of Subspace Emissary.
Thank you so much for your run. That was amazing. Up next, we do have Bubsia with the Super Smash Bros. Melee Adventure Mode blindfolded. You still have time to get in your last bid incentives for the blindfold choice. So !donate to have a look at the bid choices. We'll see you guys very, very shortly for the next run.